I personally am a huge fan of Dipanjan Sharma's comment, who has just said, "What the fuck am I watching?" Like, it's just a Tupac Shakur CD, but if you play it, track number 13 will be information that will help solve a random murder mystery. Always.
Have you ever done any reading on the Psychedelic Universe?
I have done some reading on the Psychedelic Universe. Reading. Yes, I have done reading. I have done reading on the Psychedelic Universe.
Reading.
Yes.
Huh.
So
and what is LSD?
The idea. LSD it's a very good movie by Dibakar Banerjee. Personally, one of my favorites. I think really telling a story on the young youth.
Okay.
LSD. What is the full word?
Lysergic acid dimethylide. Huh. It's a particular kind of substance. It's a psychedelic substance, and it was discovered by Albert Hofmann, who was trying to actually create something else. So, do you know the history? Do you want to tell the chat history of bicycle day?
Yes. So the reason it's called sort of bicycle day is because he was fucking around with chemicals. Then he basically took a couple of drops of this, tasted them, and then got on his bicycle, go home, and basically halfway home, usko chad gayi mast. It's like essentially the first person to have an acid trip. He's then written a description of basically how usko chad gayi.
Right.
Of course, unlike us poets, he didn't just write "haan mere ko mast chad gayi." He's explained it.
Unlike a Bollywood song, he didn't just write.
Yeah, unlike a Bollywood song, like it's not like Fevicol di chad suki hai. Like no, he didn't say that. He was like he wrote it down quite beautifully.
Right.
And that is why that day is celebrated as Bicycle Day. Do you remember Teen Munde Ki Chudai?
I remember प्याज मांगने वाली चुड़ैल.
Which I'm basically sure is the same thing, which is that basically नाम से बुलाएगी, दरवाजा मत खोलना, मार डालेगी. To the point where मैंने मेरे पापा से ये seriously बोला है कि क्या हम पुलिस सिक्योरिटी अरेंज कर सकते हैं? मैं रात को सोने वाला, मतलब मैं तू सोच मैं कितना सॉफ्ट हूँ as a बंदा. And it is to my father's credit that at no point in that conversation did he look at me and say चूतिए पुलिस का actual काम होता है. I think they have real jobs to do, like harassing Muslims for no reason. Like they have to go do that. So okay, you know what? I have two cats. I've seen a cat penis. It's really not that surprising. It looks a little barbedy. It's not like specifically terrifying. And my cat sits on my couch with me and licks his dick like all day.
But apparently there's a nail protruding out of a cat dick.
Okay, I don't know. It doesn't look like a nail. Like a nail is.
It's made out of keratin, which is the same as a nail in hair.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. But yeah.
Is it softer than a nail?
I don't know, man. I haven't
Have
fucking
you touched
my cat's
dick? Let's be honest,
Rohan. No, I haven't touched my
Rohan.
cat's dick. No, I haven't touched my cat's
For
dick.
medical reasons,
no,
you have.
I haven't.
एक
I
बार
haven't.
तो ऐसे
Do you have a roommate?
I have a roommate. Yeah.
Have you touched your roommate's dick?
Yeah. I can't say that on screen, but after this I will tell you.
But have somebody's
Like
penis or
कभी-कभी
not.
you were sleeping
But not
and you
whether
just
there's a
go.
nail on them.
Like you just go with your cat sleeping next to you. ऐसा हुआ तो होगा यार भाई. ऐसा थोड़ी होता.
ये मजबूर हैं पर आप नहीं.
Dancing Plague of 1518, and you said you had
this
read
is a
about
fun
this.
story. This is about that entire village that basically just started all dancing, right? Essentially, and couldn't stop, and like a bunch of them died. I think one of the sort of hypotheses is that there was a sort of certain bacteria or mass hysteria that took not
The
mass
Mithun bacteria.
I am a disco dancer. The disco dancer bacteria, like that's the one. Yeah, they sort of kept going, and there were a bunch of them, and people have said this could be as simple as a case of mass like monoxide poisoning. There could have been something in the water which basically caused intense like physical mania. 1518 दुनिया का पहला sunburn हुआ था, सबको पता है. Yesterday land.
Sunburn, Fire Festival.
Yesterday
1518.
land.
Nikhil Chun upon the disc, guys.
The thing is, for the people who weren't affected by it, can you imagine in a significantly more spiritual world with less scientific understanding, you wake up one day and your fucking neighbors are just dancing, and suddenly 8 neighbors are dancing, and suddenly 16 neighbors are dancing, and they dance for months. Psychologically, can you imagine what damage that does to you? For the rest, you can never take another human being for granted again in your life. You walk into a restaurant, you'll be like, "Yeah, koi bhi abhi naachne wala
ऐसे लग सकता है. Duck penises. How do you know about duck penises? Where did you come across duck penises?
Because it's just one of those things that keeps coming up on the internet in different forums. All these guys eventually have this thing of guys, duck penises are terrifying.
Yeah,
and the
they're
things that
corkscrew
nightmares
shaped.
are made of. They are.
You know why they have
Yes.
corkscrew penises?
I don't know. They just really like drinking wine.
Basically, this is, if I get this wrong, forgive me, but as far as I remember reading, I think female ducks or whatever they're called, they developed an anti-rape mechanism such that unka jo genital hai, that genitalia, that became corkscrew shaped, so that it just cannot be entered whenever, wherever, which is very common in the animal world, right? And so men had to develop corkscrew shaped penises to sort of get in there, and it becomes a patient process. So it almost,
and that just about sums it up. I used to feel bad about eating duck, but not anymore.
Not anymore.
Like my only question is going to be, is this male? If they say yeah, I'm like, yeah, fuck, bring me another. I'm going to fucking eat two. SCP Foundation.
No, what is SCP?
SCP. Okay. This is going to be a new time suck, alright? It's called the SCP Foundation, and it's basically a website. The website is imagined as the website of this fictional Illuminati-style government organization called the SCP Foundation, and they just have these files which are basically crowdsourced, and each file is essentially the description of a bizarre phenomenon which the SCP Foundation sort of has found, tracked down, and stored. And the phenomenon, they're wild. There's a CD of, like, it's just a Tupac Shakur CD, but if you play it, track number 13 will be information that will help solve a random murder mystery. Always. Like, it'll be a different murder mystery every time you play it, but track number 13 will always help you solve. And it's just bizarre, and every single one of these is written like this government file format. You ever checked out Jim Can't Swim? Jim Can't Swim it's not even about creepy stuff, etc., whatever. This guy just has hundreds of hours of interrogation footage of like hardened criminals and psychopaths and this, that, and he breaks down all the little different like tricks that they are using to manipulate, and also what cops are doing to get the truth out. So it's like interrogation videos and dude, it's a fucking wild channel.
I will see you as soon as I can, bro. Please take care.
Thank you for having me. Thank you, chat. Mast maza aa gaya.
Bro, if you like what I do not forget to press the subscribe button. Please. Thank you.